So joining us now to try to figure some of this out is Sean Gentile. He covers the NHL for The Athletic. Sean, thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. All right, so first of all, how big an issue is this for the NHL? I mean, with 55 players from Russia, I would think this is kind of an existential issue for the NHL.
I don't know if I would say it's existential, but it's close enough when you have players the profile of Alexander Ovechkin and Evgeny Malkin, and you mentioned Artemi Panarin. I mean, these are high-profile players. Nikita Kucherov, reigning MVP. I mean, there are Russian stars, and beyond that, you have Alexander Ovechkin, who is an avatar for Putin in a lot of different ways. So yeah, there's a lot of different connections. There's a lot of different concerns, but I would stop short of saying that it's an existential threat for the league.
Fair enough. Do you think it's fair, though, to ask tough questions of Ovechkin? I mean, it does seem to me that any player, any high-profile person who has expressed great admiration for Putin is going to have some tough questions to answer at this point. And I would think that that's not going to fade in the days and weeks to come.
Oh, certainly not. And I think that's where Ovechkin fell short. His answer, the words he spoke a few days ago, they would have been a little bit more meaningful or maybe at least reacted to a little bit differently if they were coming from a different player, right? But you're talking about an all-time great, closing in on the goals record, also not coincidentally campaigned for Putin in 2016 and set up what amounted to, a fan site where the design was drumming up support and drumming up funds. So when you take in the entirety of the context, both who was saying it, his history with Putin in the past, absolutely, it fell short, and I think that's the way it was. That's the way it was responded to.
So, are the Capitals going to be under pressure to? I don't know. It's hard to get rid of your star player, but are they going to be under pressure, as so many others are throughout the world, to say, look, we're distancing ourselves from anything that's pro-Putin?
I don't think you're going to see that from the Washington Capitals. And it doesn't just stop with Alexander Ovechkin. There's another Russian star on the team, Evgeny Kuznetsov. Good luck if you're expecting Washington Capitals to cut ties with Alexander Ovechkin. That's not going to happen. But what we have seen is on an international level, whether it's the International Ice Hockey Federation, whether it's the IOC, whether it's these various kind of governing bodies, they're the ones that are responding in kind. But no, there's going to be no team reaction to anything from Alexander Ovechkin. No.
Yeah, but it all comes down to the dollars, I guess, and that's why the initial response would be nothing's going to happen. But if enough people start getting upset about it, you never know if something like that could change. But I think that only someone who's outside of the NHL world would say that, right? Someone like me who used to follow hockey, who doesn't follow hockey that much anymore, can say something like that. But someone like you who's inside the hockey world is saying, no way, no how is the biggest star in the NHL going to somehow get pushed out.
Yeah, he's the best individual athlete in the history of Washington, D.C., too. Like there are ties there that just can't be, that aren't going to be easily broken. So no, I wouldn't expect any kind of team response there. That's just not going to happen. There are other things that we've seen. The NHL statement today, the pausing of business interests in the league. That's all well and good. But if you're talking about the Washington Capitals and Alexander Ovechkin, there's going to be no kind of response there. No.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.